Is the mic on? Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Bori, and I would like to tell you about the project me and a couple of people were working on. It's called Melodic Pony in Memorial, and I will mostly talk about the history and how it's currently going and what are our plans for the future. First, I will tell you a bit about Melodic Pony in case there's someone in the crowd who doesn't know much about him or nothing at all. He was a Brony orchestra composer, and he was mostly making music based on the background music from the show, which he built upon and created something bigger, something even more beautiful from the music from the series. He sadly died in December 2014 by a stroke at a very young age of 26 years old. So it was a great loss for us, and we've decided that we wanted to do something to honor him because he was a really great musician, and it seemed like a pity that he just left us. And once he jokingly mentioned that he would like for his songs to be performed by a live orchestra, so we decided that it would be great to grant him this wish. He only made 6 songs during his life, sadly, but all of them were really beautiful. As you can see, here are all the songs he made, and when we were picking which song to do, it was really hard because professional recording is very expensive. It costs maybe like it costs just shit a lot of money. Sorry, maybe like. So we had to just pick one, which was really difficult to do because all of them are beautiful. And well, we went with Princess Twilight Orchestra Suite, partly because it's one of our favorites, and also because it's his most viewed song on YouTube. At this moment, it's a bit different, but back then in 2016, it was definitely his most popular. But lately, in the past few years, Minty Roo did animations based on these songs, specifically Luna's Determination and Beginning of Harmony he did. So these have even more views than his original music, but back then, these videos weren't even up there. It was all the way back in 2016 when we started the project and decided. But I will play you one of the videos of Minty Roo because he did really beautiful animation, and it's a nice way how to hear the song, see the video, and to show it to people if, in case there's anyone here who doesn't know who Melodic Pony is. So here it is. I think, yes, good. Okay, so that was one of his songs. Okay, I will go to the next slide. That will be. That's one of his songs, The Return of Harmony. But now let's get back to the project. So with the Princess Twilight Orchestra Suite, there were two problems for the recording. First, we had to get the sheet notes for the orchestra. We had the MIDI files, but is it playable when we just turn the MIDI file into notes? No, it isn't, because he haven't wrote that in with that in mind. He just wrote it in computer the way how it sounded to him good. So he didn't know how exactly each instrument works. What are the problems with where they have to breathe, for example, if they are wind instruments or stuff like that. So it was just impossible to play. So we had to get orchestration of the song to have it performable by a live orchestra. Another part was finding an orchestra which would be willing to play it. So, for example, here we have a MIDI file of one of his songs. As you can see, I don't know much about music, but this doesn't seem very playable when it's notes over each other and stuff. And then which orchestra to try? We've seen this in this district, so we've decided that we want to try with the Prague Symphony Orchestra because he really wanted them, he liked them a lot. So we've started talking with them, and the talks were looking pretty promising. So we went on with the project and started our first campaign to fund the orchestration of the song to solve at least the first problem. And that was all the way back in 2017, so 5 years ago now. And it was a success because we've asked for $750 and we've got more than 2,000. So it seemed pretty good. But then they got more and more problems. The orchestration part was still easy. We've got it orchestrated by Steve Aho, who works in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. He did, for example, orchestration for this film Greatest Showman with Hugh Jackman, so not a no-name. And he gave us good price because it's non-profit and stuff, so he was pretty nice to us. So it was still a lot more expensive than we've originally anticipated, but we thought that we will manage that. With the next campaign, everything will be great. We will get it soon done. But how the project continued, nothing worth mentioning. We've had talk with the orchestra. It went on. It was very slow, and we were losing hope, basically. Then COVID came, and I got myself some free time, so I was thinking about how to continue with the project. So I was thinking that we can go on with this orchestra because we wouldn't get anywhere. We had to go with something else. So I started asking other orchestras if they are willing to do it, and I started talking specifically with Prague Film Orchestra, which seemed very willing to do it, and they were really helpful, and they were trying to get it further on, and it seemed very promising, so we started working on the second campaign. Finally, after 5 years or 4 years of it being under hiatus, finally something happened, and we were very happy about it. I will also show you a campaign video for the second campaign because not that many people seen it actually. Maybe like 200 people actually watched the video on the campaign anyway, so I guess none of you, or at least only a few people of you will know it. It's kind of outdated because we've done it all the way back in 2018 where we thought that it would be soon done. So there are some mistakes that we are not true anymore, but I think it's a nice video and it's nice to show it.
Melodic Pony, one of the most talented musicians this fandom has ever had. It has been more than a year since we learned of his untimely passing at the age of 27. The loss surprised us and shocked us, but once we recovered, we became determined. And from that determination, a project had begun. A project whose goal is to honor Melodic Pony's memory by having one of his orchestral pieces performed and recorded by a live orchestra. Our first crowdfunding campaign was aimed at covering the cost of a professional transcription of Melodic Pony's music into actual score. And thanks to the outpouring of support from the community, it was an unqualified success. The details regarding instrumentation have been dealt with, and the work on transcription should begin any day now. Even after we have the final score in hand, we can't stop there. In front of us, we face an even greater challenge, raising enough money to cover the costs of the recording. While we have not settled on the final target amount for the second campaign, what we want you to know is that our primary goal is to honor Melodic's memory, and in order to have the best chance of doing that, we will likely need to cover expenses beyond just the cost of the orchestra and the recording. The estimated cost of the recording session is roughly $5,000, which includes rehearsals, performance, sound and audio engineering, and post-production. We recognize that this is a lot of money, and if the fundraising doesn't reach this goal, we'll have to hire a cheaper and smaller orchestra, which will take us further away from the original musical ideas of Melodic Pony. Nonetheless, we will remain realistic, and we will do everything we can to bring this project to its fruition. We will be tremendously grateful for each and every donation, regardless of the amount. Even if you can't donate, please consider helping us by sharing this with your friends and spread the word. This project means a lot to us, and it would not be possible without your support. It is a privilege to be part of such an amazing fandom, and we thank you all for your support and patience. And we want to welcome you to join us on this journey. Thank you.
Okay, so then the second campaign started, I think it was December 2021.
Melodic.
And the campaign was asking for 4,000 euro, which is quite a lot, but when you consider that there were 52 players in the orchestra, plus conductor, choir with 30 plus people, also you had to pay for the rent of a recording studio, and there were some other expenses like director of the song had to be paid, sound technician, and so on. So those costs just adds up, and we were worried if we will be successful or not, but thankfully Bronies are very generous and they are amazing, so we've raised over 5,000 euro, which was just incredible. We couldn't believe it. Especially one person donated 1,400 euro, which is just so much, and we don't even really know who he is. He even signed as anonymous, so he doesn't have any recognition, basically. But he was really amazing to support us this way. As you can see, it was from all over the world, with most people from the USA, but also so many other countries. And now when I've talked about the expenses, I also want to talk about something that was expense from the campaign, but it was pretty pleasant expense as in rewards for the support of the campaign. We've had two main rewards for people who pledged to the campaign. First one was CD, where we had would be the live recording of the Princess Twilight Orchestra suite, and also all of his other songs in the best quality he released. And but we've also got something a little bit extra, because one of our members of the group got in touch with the family of Melodic Pony, and they were kind enough to give us access to his computer. And at the computer, we found some files, some music files, which he never released. Most of them were just him trying things out or something. We don't have really context to it. We don't know the exact details, but there was, for example, one song which the second half of it was just a recreation of a soundtrack from Lord of the Rings, so it was probably just him trying if he can recreate it or something. And also one of it was a used part from the Princess Twilight Orchestra suite. So I decided that I want to show at least one of these extra pieces here, and I went with the Princess Twilight Orchestra suite because that's basically the topic of this banner anyways, to do it, so, this song. So I will play it. Okay, so that was the part which he haven't used in the final song, and I don't know. Okay, now the other reward I forgot. Okay, so the other reward was a flipbook, which is basically a small book which contains animation inside. Basically, each page is different frame into animation, and if you flip through it, then you will get like full animation out of it. So I will show a video of the flipbook. I have it in here with me, so if anyone wants to go after the panel and look through it, you can ask me. It's free to try. Basically, it tells the story of Luna's sadness over Melodic Pony's passing, and she decides to honor him by having him eternally in the night sky as a consolation. So, yes. So that was our second reward. I hope you like both of them because we put a lot of work into everything that you see here. And now let's get to the recording itself. When everything was successful, we could go on, and we've got over 80 performers at the recording location, and actually intent took place in Municipal House, which for friends who don't know is one of the two biggest concert halls in Prague. It's from early 20th century in Art Nouveau style, very beautiful building. And we've got it basically because the Prague Film Orchestra had a concert there in January this year, and they've got in touch with the management of the municipal house and thought about this project. They've thought that it sounds nice, and they gave us really huge discount to help us to have it in the municipal house, because basically they haven't had much concerts then anyway due to COVID, so they had the place empty for many days, and it was good for them as well, because even with the very big discount, they at least got to pay for the heating of the room a bit and stuff like that. So they haven't got any money out of it so much, but at least they've covered expenses for the day for heating the room, electricity and stuff. And another really important thing about this was that father of Melodic Pony attended the recording session. That was a really big deal for us, because we really wanted this also for his family, for them to see that this project, that his work that he done means a lot to so many people around here, that his memory lives on, that there are people all over the world who are enjoying something that he did. And I think that it was really moving for him as well. Also, we wanted each member of the family to come, but sadly the recording got, we only knew about the exact date of the recording about 1 month in advance, and at that time, sadly, the family was on a vacation, so they couldn't come. But at least they will be at the concert in Big Lucerna Hall, which will be on 5th of November, where they will play the song. So if anyone has a chance to go there, I think it will be really worth it, because hearing it live in a very beautiful hall with orchestra and choir, it's just amazing experience. But now I will show you video of the recording from the municipal house. It also includes at the start interview with some of the people who were there recording, the performers, his family and stuff. So I really hope you will like it, because that's basically the combination of this whole project, and it's where we went from the start. And after so many years, after 6 years, it came to this. It's basically, this part is over finally. For us, a big relief, to be honest, but I hope that you will really like this song.
Dnes v Obecním domě jsme měli možnost natáčet Twilight Princess z My Little Pony, což je kultovní záležitost. Natáčení probíhalo v tomto krásném sále, myslím si, že výborně. Hráči šli do toho se vším všudy a sbor krásně zpíval a pan režisér nám vždycky připomínal: usmívejte se. Budeme doufat, že se vám to bude líbit, protože my jsme si to opravdu užili.
Ečku, malinko na těch změnách pozdě. Přišlo mi to aspoň tady.
Nahrávání bylo velice příjemné v Obecním domě s Pražským filmovým orchestrem, výborní muzikanti, krásný prostor.
Ono by to mělo být v podstatě podobný, jako předtím byly 16, tak teď najednou jsou to tvoje jakoby 8 směny 6.
Jsem z natáčení velice spokojená, krásně to znělo, všichni byli velmi připraveni. Měli jsme tady zástupce z různých filharmonií, bylo to opravdu lidi, kteří byli vybraní cíleně pro toto nahrávání a myslím si, že všichni byli spokojení, získali nové zkušenosti a také jsem dneska zažila další věc, která se sešla, že jsem zde měla všechny své 3 děti. Pana dirigenta Jiřího Konintu, pana režiséra dnešní roli Martina Linharta a za bicími nástroji dceru Elišku Vostrou Linhartovou, která vlastně měla s sebou i miminko, které se narodí teprve. Jsem moc ráda, že se tento projekt prostě konal a myslím, že i ty hudebníci dostali takovou inspiraci k dalšímu dění v tom orchestru.
Ty 16, jak máte ty v tempu a úplně v klídku. Ať vylezou ty dřevíčka a tak dále.
Dnešního Martina Vinče a pana nesistu, tatínka, autora tohoto krásného projektu.
Ten výsledek si myslím, že bude hodně stát za to. Mám z toho sám moc dobrý pocit, orchestr hrál skvěle, sbor zpíval krásně a celý se to nádherně pojilo dohromady. Když si vezmu v potaz, že tohle dílo doposud žilo jenom na YouTube, nahraný v počítači a teď se konečně dostalo na světlo světa s živým orchestrem a s živým sborem, tak si myslím, že se mají všichni na co těšit.
Byl jsem pozván na zkoušku skladby mého syna, který bohužel už není mezi námi, ale jsem 100% přesvědčen, že nás slyší, že vás slyší a že jeho hudba naplňuje tu odvěkou představu všech hudebníků, kteří na téhle planetě žili a tvořili a o hudbě se vyjádřili ve smyslu, že to je nejkrásnější a nejčistší umění, které člověk mohl stvořit.
like it is just amazing to finally get it out there and have people hear it. Here you can see that so many people helped, so many people played in the orchestra, and here are all the supporters from the second campaign, which got a bit higher rewards, and as you can see, so many people supported, so many years of work, and it finally ended with this. I'm just so happy. Now, during the practice, I've heard this song maybe 30 times over and over again during the weeks before the recording, and it never got old. It was always so amazing to hearing it once again and once again. I've just been there listening, and it was so amazing. But does this mean that this whole project is over? Not yet. We want to hear more of Melodic Pony songs, but doing another recording session is just not viable. It would be expensive once more, and we don't want to go through it again to ask people for that amount of money. So we're thinking with the orchestra about doing something else, and we decided that we will do live concerts where they will play two newly orchestrated songs. And we will try to create as good recording of the songs as possible at these concerts, so that even though someone may not, even the people who are not able to come will get to hear it in as good quality as possible. But we hope that as many bronies as possible will come, but of course it will be in Czech Republic, so it's not easy for many people to come here. But this will be at their regular concert. They will play their normal concert, their normal program, and they will play 3 songs. The Princess Bride Orchestra suite, of course, since they've already had it practiced anyway, and 2 more songs. For that, we were very hard thinking about which to choose, because, of course, just every song of him is amazing. So we were hard thinking about it, and we've decided with Love Conquers All and Return of Harmony. Why these? It's basically about the agreement between us and the orchestra, because as they will play at a regular concert, they have to play something that will be entertaining for the regular audience who doesn't know anything about ponies, who doesn't know the brony community, and we had to pick some songs which are different from each other, but all sound really nice, and for that it felt like a nice combination. We're thinking also between Love Conquers All and History of Ponyville, for example, but I think Love Conquers All is a bit nicer in my opinion, and the orchestra agreed, so we went with this. And it was just about this sort of balancing out what the orchestra wants, what we want, and I think these 3 songs are ideal for this. Of course, this is still subject to change because we don't have the orchestration yet. Orchestration for Love Conquers All already started, but maybe like a week ago, so it's nowhere near finished. And Return of Harmony is one of his more recent songs, so the MIDI file is a lot more complicated than the one of Princess Bride Orchestra suite, so getting through it and understanding each instrument, how to change it will be a bit more difficult than with the Princess Bride Orchestra suite, we think, at least from our almost known understanding of music, so we might be wrong, but that's at least how we see it. But for that, we need to do something. Need to do another smaller crowdfunding campaign, a lot smaller than the previous one, but we are basically out of money for this recording that we've raised in the previous campaign, and we need to get the orchestration done, which costs a bit of money, and also we need to get the recording equipment at the concert and sound engineer to record it in as good quality as possible, so we can, we can release it to public, knowing that it's a good recording, that we've put everything we could to make it sound good, even though it's only from the concert and not from a recording session. This also means that the second campaign rewards will be delayed, so which is kind of pity, but when there's in the reverse CD, it feels wrong to have 2 more songs performed live and not having them at the CD, because it wouldn't sound right to us. We want to have it as complete as possible, and these 2 songs just should be at the CD. And this also, this also means that the flipbook will be there as well, because they are mostly sent out together, and it would be way too expensive to send flipbooks out and then maybe 1 year later send out all the CDs. We don't know exactly when the concert will take place. It should be sometimes probably early next year, but we are still talking about it with the orchestra, and we will see during the autumn how it goes. Probably in September, October, we will know, and we will let people know about how it looks and so on. Okay, so that's basically all I had prepared for this presentation. If you have any questions, you can ask, and if not, thank you for listening. Yes, I will probably, it's at their website, Prague Film Orchestra, but I think we have Facebook group where we will post these informations. It's, I think, on Melodic Pony in Memoriam, and but I'm connected to internet anyway, so I can show you the concert. It's pfo.cz, and it's this concert in autumn. I think they don't have programs here yet, but it will be there. We've agreed that it will be. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Yes, I forgot how this works. So here it's pfo.cz, and you can find it there. I will just get rid of these, and it's in big Lucerna Hall, which is again another really beautiful location, also Art Nouveau, and it's in historic, it's near Wenceslas Square here in Prague. So if you can come, I think it will be very much worth it. About the next concert, all the 3 songs will be played. We were talking a bit about it being the Municipal House again, which they have, I think, concert in January or February, but that is still subject to change, so we will see if that will happen or not, if the organization will be ready and stuff. So that's only just the current estimate where it could be. Okay. Any other question? Okay, I guess there's none, so in that case, I think it's the demo is over, but if you want to flip through the flipbook, it's here, you can look at it, or if you want to ask me any question just privately, it's also possible. Okay, thank you so much.